Hello students, welcome back to the online classes of physics. This is your name, Miss.
We have been learning about in our previous class we have learned what is atom and what is molecule, isn't it? And what were the laws of conservation of mass and what are the laws of constant proportion, isn't it? So today we'll learn about the symbols of the elements, how the symbols of the elements were come into discovery and how they were, brought into notes, isn't it? Symbols of elements. So what are the symbols of element? So do you know what gold is in your language? But in another language, it would have a different name, isn't it? Like in Hindi, it is said Sona, and in Telugu, it is said Bangaram, and in many other languages, it is said many others. But I don't know the languages. Okay, so what I know is the Sona and Bangaram, and there are so many languages in the world that it's not possible to know the different names of each elements in different languages. To help scientists communicate without confusion, we must have one name or the one one particular name for each and every element that is accepted by everyone, isn't it? So we cannot say with for carbon we cannot say like a, let them keep C, then another calcium also we cannot keep C, isn't it? So particular element should have a particular name. Like if a girl having name Rani, if she's not having any name, I can't call her with any name, right? Isn't it? Particular human have a particular name. If she's having a name called Rani, then I can call her Rani, please come here. If she's not having any name, hey, come here, I can call her. For every girl I can't call like that, isn't it? All the girls will start turning looking at me, isn't it? For to avoid that confusion, our parents have given some names to us, isn't it? So similarly the elements are also given some names. Like different elements got different names. Some are got in Latin also and some are in English also. So let us know the history of what is the history behind the invention of the elements symbol. Okay, scientist named John Berzelius suggested that initial letter of an element from its name in English written in capitals should be the symbol of the element. Okay, who is the scientist? He is John Berzelius. Okay, John Berzelius. What did he say? He said that whatever element we are taking, we'll give them the first letter of that element will be given as the symbol. For example, see what Dalton said, according to Dalton, what it was, he said that the hydrogen will be set as this symbol, and carbon will be set indicated with this symbol. So is it possible to give all the wherever you are using the elements there, to give this structures like this and again do this, again do this? Isn't it confusing? Isn't it? So that's why John Berzelius said that whatever you are taking the element, you just give the first letter of that element. For example, if you are taking hydrogen, if you're taking hydrogen, we can't everywhere write hydrogen, isn't it? So what is it? Just use the first letter H. Okay, if you're using the oxygen, if you're using oxygen, just use the first letter, which will be capital. If you're using carbon, then just use the first letter, which will be capital. Okay, this is the very easiest method which we are following, isn't it? So if for example we have if you'll say miss, there are some other words also which, if you use for calcium, if you take calcium as an example, he said to take the first letter, isn't it? So if you're taking first letter here, miss, then how you can say what is the difference between calcium and carbon? If you're saying first letter, you're saying C here also, this is capital. If you're saying this both as C, then how is the difference? What is the difference that you come to know that this is the calcium and this is the carbon? So what he said, you use the another word also, second letter also for the symbol. Okay, so we are using CA, that will be a small letter. Okay, first letter we are using is capital and small letter that we are using is second letter. Okay, is it clear? Hydrogen is denoted by the first letter. Carbon is also again denoted by the first letter, which will be capital. These are all capitals. Okay, capital, wherein if you are using the second letter, then it will be small letter. Okay, so like this there's thought of applying the symbols on the elements. Now, how elements like hydrogen and oxygen got their names, do you know this? Sometimes elements are named based on their property, isn't it? For example, the Latin word for water is hydro. In Latin they say water as hydro. Okay, they use the term hydro for water. So the element that combined with the oxygen to give water was named as hydrogen. Why hydro plus oxygen? That is gen will give the hydrogen. So like this the word hydrogen came into existence. At one time people believed that any substance that contained oxygen would be acidic in nature. Okay, what they thought, always wherever you find oxygen as the combined with oxygen, they are acidic in nature. The Latin word for acid is oxy. The Latin word for oxygen is oxy. Okay, for oxygen. Then hence the gas oxygen was given. What it was given? Oxygen. So like this the term hydrogen and oxygen came into existence. So the gas was called oxygen, meaning gas that forms acid. So mostly you can see that the acid groups are having oxygen, isn't it? For example, if you take acetic acid, you see that CH3COOH, CH3COOH, isn't it? So here you can see oxygens, two oxygens. So that means it is having acid in nature. So however the name had comes into common use as it was of no change. Place of discovery of elements can also play a role in its naming. For example, the gas which was first discovered in the sun, that is in Greek name for sun is helio, and hence it was named as helium. It was first gas which was first discovered in the sun was helium, and the name came from sun is helio, so it is called as helium. Okay, so many elements were named to honor the scientist also. For example, Einstein, he was honored by Einsteinium. Okay, like that only fermium, then rutherfordium and mendelium. Okay, so like this different names were given. So what do you think, what is the need of it, what is the need of the symbol? As I already said you, the symbols represent the name of the elements. We cannot call people with different symbols we need, isn't it? So we represent it with one atom of elements. Similarly, as I said already, whatever if more than one the atom is there, that is like calcium is there, we are going to use two words, two letters. So one mole of element symbol represents 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. Okay, what is the one mole of element? So 1 mole of element comprises of 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. So 1 mole of element, that is one molecule of an element, comprises of 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. Okay, so overall 115 elements have been discovered so far. Okay, how many elements have been discovered so far? 115 elements have been discovered so far. Fine. So there are so many, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, carbon, calcium, chlorine, chromium, boron, barium, bromine, beryllium, aluminium, iron, gold, sodium, potassium. So many, so many elements were discovered. Similarly, we have so many elements in the periodic table. You can go through it, and some unusual symbols, that is there is not an end of the problem. This is not the end of the problem. We observe the symbols for some elements come from their name, but some don't. Okay, if they are told that certain elements have symbols based on their Latin names, and some are based on their English names. Okay, as I already said. So see, elements with more than one atom in their molecule, several elements have more than one atom in the smallest constituent particles, and known as each molecule in this element contains two or more atoms combined together to form a molecule. As I already said, two or more atoms combined together to form a molecule. For example, if we take oxygen also, water also, you can see two or more molecules are combining to form a molecule. One molecule of water, isn't it? One molecule of water, that is, it is compressing this one oxygen, two hydrogen atoms, isn't it? So for example, a molecule of oxygen has two atoms. Similarly, you can say the molecule of oxygen, you have two if you say oxygen O2, you don't write O, right? You write O2. That means it has two molecules of oxygen. Similarly, you have nitrogen. Nitrogen also is written as N2. That is also given as N triple bond N. Okay, so you have like this. You might have heard about the ozone gas, that is O3, isn't it? This gas is found in large quantities in the upper layer of the Earth's atmosphere, isn't it? It protects us by shielding the Earth from harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun. Every molecule of ozone has three atoms of oxygen. So it's having three atoms of oxygen. That's why it is given as O3. So what I said just now, that is about oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, these all shows the atomicity. That means the number of atoms constituting constituting a molecule is called as atomicity. That is, the number of atoms constituting a molecule is called as atomicity. That means how many number of atoms are involved in the formation of one molecule. As we already said, for example, I said oxygen, O2, I said O2, right? So what it is having? It is having two molecules of oxygen, two atoms of oxygen, isn't it? Similarly, N2 I said, H2 I said, these are all, all having two atoms, isn't it? So these are all diatomic. That means they are having two atoms present in combining to form one molecule. So what is the atomicity of oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen? It is diatomic. If I say there is the elements which are only having one molecule, one atom, there are no other elements involved in the formation of molecule, they are called as monoatomic. Example, we have argon, we have helium, we have sodium, we have aluminium, and we have copper. All these things come under the monoatomic. Mono means one, isn't it? Mono means one. So as I said, the oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, and chlorine, these all comes under the diatomic. As I said, diatomic, di means two, isn't it? Di means two. So that means chlorine, Cl2, oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, these all comes under diatomic molecules. Then we have, not only this, we also have tetra, we have octo. Okay, tetra means we are having four. We are having tetratomic. We are having four. For example, we have P4, that is phosphorus. Phosphorus is a combination of how many atoms? It's a combination of four atoms. Okay, it's a combination of four atoms. How does the structure comes? It comes like this. Okay, this is the structure. This is the structure of phosphorus. It comes under four. One phosphorus form a combination of 4 phosphor atoms. Okay, similarly you have this one, ozone. Ozone I said na, ozone is triatomic. Tri means 3, so that means O3, ozone, isn't it? So now you have sulfur. I said sulfur is again made up of 8, S8. This is called as nothing but octaatomic, which is of S8. Simply it is having crown shape. You can easily recognize with a crown shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. Then 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this is the crown shape, crown like. Okay, S8 is always crown like. And what is the valency? What is valency that you know? So as I said, there are over 115 elements known to us till now, isn't it? So these elements react with each other to form a compounds, isn't it? They react with each other to form a compound. Then for every element has a definite combining capacity that determines the atomicity of its molecule. Every element reacts with other element according to its combining capacity, which we call it as valency. So what is valency? Valency is nothing but the combining capacity of the element. So every element reacts with each other according to their combining capacity. This is called as valency. Now, for example, the valency of some elements I'll tell you. Example, helium is having 0 valency. Okay, helium is having 0 valency. That means it will react only 1 because it is monatomic. Okay, and hydrogen, it is having 1. Okay, if you see fluorine is having also 1 valency. That is 1 electron is present in the last subshell. Chlorine also you can say 1. Oxygen you can say 2. Nitrogen you can say 3. And carbon you can say 4. Example, if I take methane, okay, what you are seeing, the one carbon, that is carbon, is having 4 valence shells. Okay, 4 valence electrons are there. It is having 4 valence electrons. That means these 4 electrons, these 4s are easily, they can form a bond with someone. They can easily form a bond. So they are having the capacity to form a bond. So they will form a bond with H, 1 H. Here we take 1 more H, this 1 more H, and this 1 more H. So these will form the another bond. So there you can see that there is a bond formation of formation of 4 hydrogen atoms here. So that is CH4 means it is having, the carbon is having the capacity to bond with 4 hydrogen atoms. I hope it is clear. Example, oxygen also we have taken. If you take example of oxygen, you can see that oxygen is having what is the oxygen atomic number? Atomic number of oxygen is 8, isn't it? Oxygen is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, isn't it? So now what it is having? It is having now it can pair with the one of the hydrogen, and here also one of the hydrogen, and it will form one bond, that is water. So I hope it is clear till here, and thanks for watching. I request you all to please go twice to the video and try to understand the topic. Until then, wait for the next video. Take care. Thank you.